Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another video. In this video, I will talk to you about the subconscious mind. So the topic we will cover is your subconscious mind blocking you? I will give you a simple test to know whether this is the case, and I will give you some tips on how to change it. So let's go straight into it. Is your subconscious mind blocking you? The easiest way to know, so by the way, your subconscious mind is a record of all the ways of feeling, acting, reacting, believing that you have adopted, and it is basically making up this autopilot mode that we very often go into. 95% of the way we feel, act, react, what we believe in comes from our subconscious mind, and only 5% of our brain is actually our conscious activity. So when is our subconscious mind actually blocking us? When we have adopted something that is actually not serving us. The way we adopt things that are recorded in our subconscious mind and making up this autopilot mode that we go into, the way we adopt things and the way our brain is recording things that are later on making up this autopilot mode is by repetition. If we have been repeating certain thoughts, feelings, ways of acting, ways of reacting, things that we believe in, if we have been repeating these constantly, our brain understands that this is what we want, and this is what we want to feel, be, believe long term. So our brain says, well, it makes sense to automate this thing, because our brain's job is to help us be more productive. So by automating these things, they happen on autopilot. We don't even think about them. So we don't have to use this extra energy on thinking about it because it's happening in the background. And the tricky thing is, most of these autopilot instructions we have adopted in our childhood. So we didn't really choose to adopt them. And some of these autopilot functionalities are not serving us. That means they're blocking us from feeling the way we want to feel today, living the way we want to live today, acting the way we want to act, react, that is beneficial for us. So that is a deeper topic, of course. I can cover that in another video, but this is a high-level explanation for the purpose of today's video. And how can we test if we do have these subconscious traits that are blocking us? I will give you a couple of examples so it would be clearer for you. Let's take the example of relationships. If in your past you have acknowledged that a certain pattern is being repeated, you have a subconscious autopilot functionality that is choosing this for you and constantly putting you in same situations when it comes to relationships. For example, if you keep choosing same type of men for yourself, or same type of women for yourself, or similar relationship dynamics, you keep choosing it, but it's not something that is good for you, serving you, making you feel good, but you keep choosing it, you keep finding yourself in these situations, that means there is a subconscious trait that is choosing this for you. This autopilot is choosing it for you. You're not even consciously thinking about it. For example, if there are women who say, I keep choosing bad men, I'm just attracted to them. So this person doesn't like it, because by saying that they're bad, it means they're not good. It means they're not bringing good things into the relationship. Yet this woman keeps choosing it. There is a certain habit of thinking, feeling, believing that is subconsciously choosing this for her. And by the way, our subconscious mind will always choose for us to feel, act, be in line with everything that has been recorded in this autopilot box mechanism in our subconscious mind. And these mechanisms we have adopted in the past, most of them in our childhood, through repetition. We were used to feeling a certain way about ourselves. This became part of this autopilot in our subconscious mind. We were used to thinking the same way. This is part of our autopilot that is driving our life, piloting our life every day. Let's talk about another example related to relationships. If you notice that, for example, in the past, you would always end up being with a person who's controlling, jealous. So you would feel controlled, like you have no freedom. Like you always feel like you're guilty, you did something, but you did nothing wrong. If you kept being in that type of relationships, this means that your subconscious mind has chosen this for you. And there is a subconscious functionality that is blocking you from choosing anything else, from choosing a relationship where you feel free, where you feel like you are trusted, where you feel that you can fully be you without being accused every day of something that you didn't actually do. Let's take another example. Let's take a career example. This actually happened to me. So if for a certain period of time, for a number of years, you have noticed that same type of patterns have been repeated, negative patterns that you do not like, you would like a different situation, but these negative patterns, I call them negative. Nothing is negative. It's part of our experience, but let's call them negative so it's easy to understand what I'm talking about. So let's call them. So negative patterns have been repeated in your career. It means that your brain has adopted a certain pattern of believing and feeling and acting that is putting you in this situation. I'll give you my example. For many years, for 10 years, I worked in investment banking. And in the first part of my career, for a number of years, I had the same pattern that kept repeating. I would be in a job, I worked hard, long hours, I would be so focused and performing, dedicated. I wouldn't take breaks. I wouldn't go and chat to my colleagues. I would just be focused on working. And yet it looked to me like everyone else around me, this was my perception, everyone else around me was getting promoted and I wasn't. This happened at the first job, the first team I worked for, the second team I worked for, and then the third team I worked for. And then something happened that I stopped and I started questioning. It was actually in the middle of my internal work and me studying to become hypnotherapist, and also it was actually before I started studying to become hypnotherapist, but I was very much into this internal self-development and self-discovery. So I started asking myself questions. Okay, what is happening here? The question I ask actually is, do you think that you are doing your maximum here? Your absolute maximum, you are like a star. You are performing like a star. Are you doing your very, very, very best, the maximum of yourself that you could possibly give? And the answer shocked me. Actually, the answer was no. And with this question and this honest answer, everything started changing. And what I have discovered, the answer was not no because I was lazy or incapable. The answer was no because I was behaving in line with this autopilot mechanism. And what that autopilot mechanism in my subconscious mind has recorded based on my past is, there's a whole video about this, explaining everything in detail. It's called Being a Good Girl or Good Boy is Blocking Your Success. So you can watch that video for the full story. But in a nutshell, I could only see myself. In my subconscious mind, there was this image of me of a person who is only executing in the corner. I could not see myself as someone who is in a leadership role. So I was behaving. I saw myself as someone executing. I did not see myself as someone who is leading, winning, managing, and basically showing the way. I was always, in my mind, I saw myself as someone executing. So I had the belief that I am the one who should sit and execute. So this belief was adopted many years, decades before I actually started working in investment banking. But we take these beliefs with us. This autopilot is with us in our subconscious mind. And it was blocking me from getting the promotion that I wanted, stepping into this leadership role that I wanted so much. So this adopted mechanism that I adopted in my childhood stayed with me in my subconscious mind, was running in the background. There was this autopilot running in the background, and I was choosing to feel and behave and act in line with that image that I had about myself, that subconscious mechanism that I'm the one simply executing. So I wouldn't even step up and behave like a leader and show that I can be a leader. And of course, the results were then in line with the way I was behaving. So it could be a career situation. It could be a situation or another test to actually understand whether you have subconscious functionalities blocking you is if you keep feeling the same way. So we had same type of patterns, situations happening in your relationships or in your career. And if you keep feeling the same way, for example, if you keep feeling, no matter what happens, no matter what you do, you keep feeling like you are not beautiful or you are not good enough. So you can go and buy the best clothes, designer outfit, and for a split of a second, you might think, wow, I look beautiful. And then the next moment, you just go back into feeling not good enough or not pretty enough. Or you constantly feel like you're not pretty enough and you need people to tell you constantly that you're beautiful. So it feels good if they tell you, but the moment after you hear that, you already fall back and feel not pretty anymore. So this means if there is this repeated pattern for a long time, that is happening for a long time where you feel a certain way, like for example, not beautiful or not good enough, it means that there is a subconscious functionality that you have adopted long time ago, most likely in your childhood, that is now blocking you from feeling beautiful, blocking you from acknowledging your beauty, blocking you from celebrating your beauty, blocking you from feeling good about yourself. So that's the first step, the test. This is one way to test it. There are other ways, but this is one way you can actually apply it right away. What to do about it? How do we change it? If you register and acknowledge that, oh yes, there are some subconscious functionalities that are blocking me, how can you change it? You can change it on a conscious level by working on your conscious level, by catching your thoughts. Catch what you are thinking related to that topic. For example, if you in your past were choosing people, relationships where either romantic or friendships, where you did not feel respected, acknowledged, celebrated, where people would put you down. Think about those situations and catch your thoughts. What are you thinking about that situation and about yourself? There was a person who once told me, well, you know, when I started thinking about my past relationships, I started catching my thoughts. The first thought that came into my mind, well, who would want me anyway? I can't do better. So when you catch these negative thoughts that are just representing that subconscious belief, that subconscious functionality that is blocking you, change the thought. So you need to catch the negative thought, change the thought. Or for example, in my example of me being in the same career pattern, I caught my thought where I said, I'm not acting to my fullest potential because I don't think I deserve to be in a leadership role. I don't think I can be a leader. So this is the negative thought. Change it, swap it. Say it to yourself, so swap it, change it to a positive statement, and then repeat that statement every day. Write it on a wall, put it on your phone as a reminder. Keep repeating it to yourself because your mind learns by repetition. The second thing you can do is work on your subconscious level by meditating or hypnotherapy. So you can find free meditation on YouTube, and meditation is also working on a subconscious level. So find some meditation. If your thought, for example, related to your relationships in the past was, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, find some meditation for feeling lovable. There are meditations that are titled Feel Lovable, Love Yourself. So find those guided meditations that are tackling the exact subject and topic that you would like to change, or a meditation for abundance, money blocks, and so on. So try this, and it will make a big shift for you. It will certainly do. If you keep repeating it, the key is once you do the test, then you acknowledge the thought, keep changing it, do meditations, and repeat that every day for at least 3-4 weeks. Consistency is key, because the reason why something was adopted, this mechanism that is blocking you, the reason why it was adopted in your subconscious mind is because it was repeated. So your mind got a message, oh, you keep repeating this to me, so it means you want to automate it. It means this is what you want. So let me just automate. I might as well do it. So it's easier for you to just be this way in the future, because you're telling me that this is what you want. You keep repeating. So now you need to start repeating this new order to your mind. This thing that is going to change everything for you, unblock you, and take you where you want to go and feel the way you want to feel. I wish you a beautiful day, and I wish you to uncover these blocks and work through them, and then just flow and embrace this beauty that is going to come out of this, that is on the other side of this journey, and it's beautiful. Thank you so much. Sending you love, and see you in the next video.